what's going on out there, YouTube?
What's up, YouTube?
This is SEL0320.
Joe Johnson.
What up, y'all?
What's going on?
So, I ain't gonna front, y'all. Look.
You took out the glasses.
We're doing our review on the brand new Appleseed Alpha. So, this is a follow-up from Appleseed, the beginning. Appleseed Ex Machina, one of the best animes directed by John Ryu and Shujin himself, that does so many different productions, but this one was something special. I had never seen an anime like this, but they stepped it up with the brand new Appleseed Alpha. But before I go into any of that, I have to be honest with y'all. There's not gonna, as y'all can see, there's not any special titles, there's not any special little views. Right now, we have had an issue and one of our computers is down. And we're not gonna be able to do much editing with the footage, so this is just gonna be raw footage. So please bear with us. Hopefully, within a day and a half, it should be back up and running. Well, I'm kind of crying on the inside because it was my baby, not his. His baby's still alive. I need mine.
My baby is crying. My baby is like, we need you back. I can't do it alone. On the real, I'm working with it.
I'm about to start crying. Hold on, give me a second, y'all. I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, I mean, my computer is perfectly. My computer is not. Let's just say I'm pushing mine in order to do everything it's doing, and I'm still not going full capacity of how I want to do. Let's just say that. But anyway, back to Appleseed. You know, that's what you guys came for. She's gonna give you. So.
Okay. So as I said, this is the first one, Appleseed. Since I can't edit it in, I'll at least show y'all like this. And then you got Appleseed Ex Machina.
Right.
So the main characters you have in this one is Briareos and Deunan. Briareos is technically a cyborg. He's got like kind of antlers, kind of like a rabbit. But he's strong, versatile. He used to be a soldier until he had a serious injury. And then you have Deunan, who's just like the most amazing female soldier I think I've ever seen. But the thing about this one, before we go into the visuals, before we go into the score, before we go into how the acting was with the English dub we actually listened to, and before we even go into the story, is that we need to let you know that this is actually technically a reboot slash a prequel. It's more so of a prequel. If you look at the movie from the very end, you'll know it's not necessarily a reboot, but I can't explain why. But yeah, this is a prequel. So if you looked at the first two, know that some of this is not going to be the standard, but it's still very well done. So let's go ahead to the scope of it. The visual effects for this one is unlike any anime that I think I've ever seen. If y'all have seen, of course, the Batman Arkham Knight trailer, I mean, imagine that, the CG scenes like that, but even deeper, because this is well lit. Like the Dark Knight, it was all in the dark. This is just completely well lit, to the armor, to the character, to the animation. I've never seen anything like this on a different level. I mean, go ahead, because I could keep going with that.
All right, so if you look at the trailer, you know exactly what we're talking about. Now, as far as the characters, bro. Characters like there's a character in the story called Two Horns.
Oh man, he got introduced with his music and his. I never seen anything like him. I don't even know what he is. I still don't.
Yeah, man. I mean, him and his henchmen, and like the way they're designed, I have never seen characters done this way.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I was. I had to get off the couch when I seen him. I like slid off the couch and got up to the screen like this. It was just like, I was like, what is this, man?
Yeah.
And not only him, but his henchmen look pretty crazy, man. It looks really good, and not only that, but not in just like a good as in the visual aspects of it, but also the uniqueness, the originality of the actual designs.
Yeah, true.
Are like will throw you for a loop.
Yeah, even like the designs for like Briareos. Briareos is not designed like this. It's like he's almost like a tank, almost in the frame of how he's built, from the structure of his jaw lining, from even like the way his scope works. Like when you actually see it from a first person perspective, how he zooms into stuff, it's just so well done. There were times we were looking and we were like, is that real? Even the hair.
Oh man.
The hair, the water scenes, the action, when you see them actually fight certain things, or when you see explosions, the fire, the water, the hair, they look real. The CG is that well done. Even the lip movements, they had the syncing so well that I know for a fact that they had the voice actors go and probably do some green screen to actually have it attached. There's no way they could have gotten it that well done and just animated it. So it was just amazing. I had to give the animation like a 10 out of 10. I mean, it was just most beautiful thing I think I've ever seen. But then the music though.
Oh my goodness.
The music was so unique. I was like, I mean, Appleseed Ex Machina had some great music, great musical scenes, and I mean, especially towards the end, it was just on an epic level. Like there was things in Ex Machina that I'd never seen before, especially like the final scene where you had Briareos, Deunan, and then what was the other guy's name that was a clone of Briareos? Darius. And they were fighting on these mechs, and they were like, the eyes were against them. And Briareos and Darius were like working on this swarm of things, and then Deunan, she just jumped out of her mech, set the dude up, and then they came in, piled in, like just that scene and the music and how it worked with it, it was just beautiful. But the music is so unique that you might have one scene that might be a rap song playing in it, but it fits so well. Yeah. Like I think that the way that even Briareos and Deunan came in, it was such a small kind of setting of how I think it was like a violin when it was first started coming up, and then it started going to this more kind of like technical electric kind of thing, and it changes up so well that I can take so much appreciation of it. But there were times where I felt like the action in this one was not necessarily as much action in like Ex Machina, but I can appreciate the depth of the designs and how well they were done with the music and with the score. It was like I'm looking at art unfold in front of my eyes, like when they're actually moving and animating. But make no mistake, there is definitely more action in Ex Machina, because that is when these characters are fulfilled, when they're the characters that we know and love. These characters, they're kind of just getting into the steam of what they're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. I noticed that too. I was going to bring that up. So it's funny you should bring it. But anyway, yeah, I definitely say, that like scenes where you see like Deunan, jump out of her mech and then like shoot people, and like that level of action is not quite in this one.
No.
But it's still a lot of action.
Yeah.
But it's just like we seen them push the boundaries beforehand in like previous movies. Yeah. It's like they haven't quite got there yet. But I'm very excited to see where they're gonna take this
next.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's oh man, there's a lot. If you were familiar with the first two Appleseeds, there's a lot that is still to be unraveled. A lot. So much more. And they leave so much like up in the air and not as like unresolved, but they leave so much to where they can explore and grow. They have so much room for that, and it's just like this is very exciting.
Yeah, I highly agree. I mean, I don't know where it's gonna go, but I know that, especially Deunan, when I know the things that she can do and what she's capable of in Appleseed and Ex Machina, and I was kind of looking at her, I was like, she's kind of like had like a moment where she was kind of like sad or teared up. I was like, Deunan?
Yeah.
What the heck? No, she would shoot somebody in the head before she would do something like that. But it's good to see her vulnerable like that, because you get to see different layers of the character. So that progresses on to segue into the voice acting. So the voice actors are all the same. It's the same actors that were for the original ones. I'll go ahead and name them off, Joe, because I don't even know them all myself. So you got Lucy Christian. She plays Deunan, Deunan Newt, and she does a great job of showing like a soldier, but that has a heart for her partner. Like, she's in love with this man. I don't know the depths of how much they care, but they do it so well through the voice acting that you can tell in the pitch that there's a level of love and respect, and that they would do anything for each other, you know what I'm saying? And I think the guy that plays Briareos, his name is David Matoranga. He plays Briareos, and he does a great job as well, in my opinion. Other new characters in this is, of course, you got Two Horns. He's played by this guy named Wendell Calvert. I've never heard of him before,
He's
but
African American.
yeah, he is African American. But I love his character because I was like, man, this dude won't quit. He comes off as the grimiest, dirtiest thug you can think of, and he's dangerous. I mean, he seriously is dangerous because the things that he can do, I'm like, yeah, he should have been taken out a long time ago. He's still kicking. And so, I mean, you'll start to see where his character goes later on, but he's a very interesting character. I'm glad they brought him into the mix. What do you think of his character?
Oh, man. His character was just... I love his character, man. Because just... If you think about, like, Briareos, and, like... He has a similar... I feel like he could match him, like, strength-wise. I'm not sure about agility or nothing like that, or like combat skills, but just based off strength,
yeah,
like he looks like he could match him. But at the same time, you got this dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's in a position of power. He's got people working under him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's like
he's different.
He's just different. And then like I don't even know what's his backstory too, because you can see him. He has like war pins,
plates
like
all
medals.
over. And the other thing is, oh well, we can't spoil that, but he plays a real big role into how Briareos got his armor and how he is what he is. I can't say anymore. This whole review, we're not gonna do any spoilers for it. If y'all request on our behalf, like, to do a spoiler review, we'll do that. If you want us to do the Appleseed or the Ex Machina reviews, we'll do those together if you want. Just please leave your comments below. But yeah, I mean, Two Horns, he's literally almost like a polar opposite of Briareos, to me. I mean, even the way he talks, even the way he don't give a care about anybody. The only thing I can see is that he knows respect. He knows about respect. He might not give it, but he knows it. Another character is, you got Iris, is being played by Brianna Plancia. Iris she's the gem of this, in my opinion. Because she brings a heart level to it. Like, she has a real human element, and she doesn't trust off the gate everybody, but she's got a lot of surprises. I can't really spoil that much about her, but I really loved her character as well. I mean, you had another character named Olsen. He was a weird mech. He was a cyborg, but you don't know a lot about his backstory, but he's a good soldier. I mean, I like this character for what he was. But the two characters that shine are the villains, and one of them's name is Telios, the other one's name is Nyx, or Nyx. Nyx, she looks like the Spartan 5 from Halo. She's pitch black, she's dangerous, she's volatile, she's unpredictable. But Telios, like you said, he's like Spartan 3. From Halo Combat Evolved. I mean, this dude, he's ruthless.
Most definitely.
I mean, he's emotionless and he's ruthless. I don't know. I mean, I've never seen anything like him. I didn't know how they were going to honestly really come at him at a certain kind of way, but it's interesting how it all unfolds for sure. I really liked his place as a villain. I would like to see more from him. I'm not sure how they're gonna let it fold out later, but what did you think of the villains in the story?
Oh man, I think they're pretty crazy.
Crazy looking or crazy good, as in like all around? They were beautiful. I mean, they were the most beautiful villains I think I've ever seen. But But down to their core, what did you think of them?
Yeah, definitely. One thing about all the villains that I appreciate in the entire Appleseed series is all the villains are like die hard to their cause, and all of them have a cause. Whether you really know the roots of their cause or not, they have a specific cause. Like, and it's kind of like very political and like very you know, for the fate of the world kind of cause. But these villains are they're ruthless, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the story revolves around Iris, you know what I'm saying, and a child.
Yeah.
And they're really contemplating whether or not they were gonna kill her.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm not gonna tell you what actually happens, but that's just the kind of villains they are. You know what I'm saying? So they're pretty ruthless.
Yeah, they are really good. They are really good. And then even you got Matthews, who's the mechanic that you cannot figure out from the get. Like, you don't know what his real agenda is, and I think he's gonna play a bigger role later. But that's all we'll talk about, because we don't want to go in too much in depth of everything. But it's wait until the end of the credits and you'll know more. But as far as the story is concerned, I love the direction of it because it threw me off. Like, I looked at the first one multiple times and I was like trying to anticipate, is this the future? Is this not? Like, what's going on with it? And so I think that the director, Shinji Arakami, he's directed things such as Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. He's done Soul Eater. He's done the Halo Legends series, which makes sense. He's done, you remember that Starship Troopers Invasion? Yeah, he did that. I mean, of course, all the rest of the Appleseed, he's done all of those. So, I mean, this guy knows his stuff. He knows the craft of how they're supposed to look and feel. But this story is like, I don't know, it revitalized everything because it brought